All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode. I've just been getting a lot done around the house. Still got a few more videos to post, but today's episode is going to be fairly quick. What we have here is it's a Simpson Pressure Washer. I believe the pump went out on it. So instead of just purchasing separate pieces and all of that other stuff, I just purchased the whole new pump itself. So what you have here, you have 4 13 millimeter bolts that you have to loosen up to actually be able to get this thing off. So you got 2 at the top, you have one here, and you have 2 at the bottom as well. So you have to remove those, and then you should be able to pry or pull off this existing pump to replace it. It has a Honda motor on it. Everything's fine. I think I probably had this thing maybe 3 years, 2 years, 2 to 3 years, something like that. And I just went in the store to potentially purchase another pressure washer, and I saw that they were like 400, like they had pressure washers for $400, $500, $600, things of that nature. And I'm definitely not paying that much for another pressure washer, especially when it might just be the pump. At least that's what I think that's what it is, because the motor and everything else still runs and everything else is pretty good. The hose is not clogged up or anything like that. So, and I was actually using a pressure washer, and then it just stopped pumping. Like it stopped producing water at a high pressure through the hose. So that's what we have for today. Probably last week I went ahead and changed out. So I have I think this is a 2006 Hayabusa. So what I did, I changed out the radiator on it as well, because the bike was laid down on the opposite side. So that what is it, stator cover or stator cover or something, it was cracked. So I replaced the cover. This was probably over like a year, 2 years ago. So I replaced this cover. I replaced this gasket that goes along the inside of that as well. Torqued the bolts down to proper spec. And like I said, just this probably about a week, 2 weeks ago, I changed out this radiator because the radiator had a crack in it. So what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna end up removing this hose right here and the hose on the other side. I'm gonna run water all the way through the system just to flush everything out, drain that existing radiator fluid that's in the reservoir as well, and then get everything blowing and going back for sure. I ordered a box. Like I took all the fairings and everything else off of this bike as well, because like I said, it was laid down on the left side. So I ordered a whole new set of fairings. So I'm gonna dry fit everything first, because I know with aftermarket parts you're gonna have to modify some stuff just to get the proper fitment that you want. So that's what I've been doing. So we're gonna go ahead and stay tuned. I'm gonna remove this pump from off of this pressure washer, and remove this pump from off of the pressure washer, and then I'll go from there. Also, a while back I seen a video where some guys installed a shelf system, so that's what I did. I did the same thing over here. Have tons of storage along the top. I even started painting the existing walls, priming, paint the walls white. So you have the threaded rod, eye bolts, washers, plastic spacers in between. I put those clips on the end, that way I just won't run into the end of those, the ends of the threaded rod. But yeah, I mean, it's just another day just getting some stuff done. Even bought a little weight set to start lifting, getting back into lifting again, So let's just stay tuned. So here we are, approximately maybe 30 seconds later, right? I removed those 4 bolts, and I literally just slid the entire pump off, right? I purchased another pump. It's inside. I'll go grab it real fast, but I purchased the pump. It's under $150. There's this little key, here that's on the existing shaft. I'm gonna remove that as well, lubricate it, slide the new one on. and then tighten up, you know, put the new pump on, tighten up the bolts, and I should be good to go. So just save myself a couple $100 for sure by just purchasing a new pump instead of throwing away the pressure washer, because nothing's wrong with the motor. So hopefully everything's good to go. So stay tuned. All right, everyone, I'm back. So I went inside, grabbed the new pump. This was the key that came with it. I applied some anti-seize and all of that along that shaft, so I could should be able to put the shaft back in, possibly. So I'm gonna go ahead, put the shaft back, push that shaft back on there, or push the key on there. After doing that, I'll place the new pump, which is right here, on there, align the 4 bolts that they sent with it, and then tighten those up, and that should be a done deal for this. The heads on these bolts are Allen, like Allen heads for the bolts themselves, the 4 that they sent, instead of and they have the Loctite on there instead of the ones that were on here before, which I prefer, because getting these standard bolt, what is it, hex head, 6-eye, yeah, hex heads off is kind of a pain with a wrench, especially because you have to torque them on there pretty tight. But needless to say, I got everything off, everything's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply it. I'm gonna put this key on here and then install a new shaft, torque these bolts down, and then check and see if everything works like I anticipated on doing. So stay tuned. And just like that, people, the old pump is off, new pump is on. All of the bolts have been tightened. So literally it's as simple as removing these 4 bolts. That the new heads that they're gonna probably send you are for the Allen key. I think it's a number 6 Allen key. So you go ahead and remove off the bolts, slide the old pump off, slide the old key off, put the new key on, make sure you apply some type of anti-seize on there as well. Slide the new pump back on, torque everything up to spec, and literally all I have to do is remove that cap right there, remove this cap right here. This is the connection for the hose, and this is the connection for the actual this is where the garden hose hooks up to, and this is for the actual wind or the hose for the pressure washer itself. So that should be it. I'm gonna test it out in a minute, see, make sure everything works, and go from there. And just like that, people, the pump works. Pressure washer now works. Now we have pressure. Thank you. So that's what you got to do to save yourself a couple $100. Instead of throwing out your old pressure washer and going to get a new one, just change out that pump. You're good to go. So stay tuned.